Hello, hello. Let's see here. We are we are live. Welcome to the Lichen Sclerosus Support Network. We are so excited to be here with you. My name is Kathy Ruiz Carter. I am executive director and co-founder of this amazing organization. And today I wanted to come and show you some of our amazing items that we have up for bid in our first ever arts and craft auction and really tell you about the mission of LSSN and why this auction is so important, because it's for the patients. This money goes towards helping patients take back control of their lives. And I know a lot of you are struggling with your lichen sclerosis. And I just wanted to tell you there is hope. You can manage this condition. It can be a longer road for some, but we are a resource, not just for you, but for your provider. And that's why this is so important because, as you know, if you're new to this journey, you may not know, but it is just as the information is just as lacking on the provider side as it is the patient side. So we are struggling with these two dichotomies of patient education, provider education. And over the last 5 years, the Lichen Sclerosus Support Network has focused on providing that education, providing that support for the patients, because that's where we're coming from. We are patients. I have had lichen sclerosis now for more than 10 years. I've been diagnosed for about 5, and you know, thankfully I am well managed. I have been in remission for over 3 years, and I have seen hundreds who have come and started off in a place where they had no hope, where they didn't know if their relationship was going to survive, if they were able going to be able to continue to be intimate, if they were going to have children. And they are now flourishing, and we are so excited and honored to be part of those journeys, because it can happen. And so I don't know if you've seen our my recent interview with Dr. Jill Kraft, and she was saying how patients are now coming to her in such a much better condition than they were 4 years ago, and that's thanks to Lichen Sclerosus Support Network, and I'm so proud to be a part of that. So this auction, our Art for Empowerment auction, is something that I conceived of about 3, 4 years ago. You may not know this about me, but I am a crocheter. I am a that's one of the main hobbies, main crafts that I do. But I'm a crafter, I'm a creative person. I love, love, love just making things. And so crochet has always been one of my main art forms. And when I was building this organization, I was like, how fun would it be to have a craft auction? I know we have so many talented people in our community, and to be able to bring them all together, how cool would that be, right? And so we wanted to have an arts and craft auction, and we put out the call a few months ago, and we had an amazing response. We had about 23 different artists who just said me, maybe. And we have these amazing works of art that I wanted to come and highlight for you today, because again, all of the money that we raise goes back to our mission of creating education, support opportunities for you, and educating providers. That is our next step. Like I said, 5 years ago, we started educating patients, and we've done a tremendous job. Now we are going to educate providers. And that is a huge, huge step, because we're not providers, and so we are having to really partner with our network of providers in a way that we've never had to do before. Usually it's like, hey, come and educate us patients on XYZ, topic. Now we're saying, you are the experts. Come and educate other providers so that they can go and increase the radius of care. That's what I'm calling it. There's so many of our community that are in a provider desert. I've had emails from so many people saying there's no provider in my area. I have to drive hours to go and see my person, the medical provider, who may or may not be, a specialist, but at least has some knowledge about lichen sclerosis, because there's no one in my immediate area. And that should not happen. That is unacceptable. We will not stand for it. So what we are doing is we are creating a provider continuous education program. This is not just a course. A course is part of it, but we want to create an ecosystem for our providers. So because if we educate one provider in one of these deserts, and they can see patients within a 25, 30, even 50-mile radius. I mean, that's still a good ways to go, but that's less than an hour, right? Imagine the hundreds of patients that they can help, because we know that lichen sclerosis is not rare. It's just misdiagnosed and goes undiagnosed because of lack of education on the provider side. But if we can educate providers, if we can give them the tools, the resources, the network and community that they can come to when they are having issues, then they can do the diagnosis, they can catch it early, they can treat it properly, and people can get their life back. Or better yet, they'll never have to feel that anguish, that disruption in life, that isolation, that fear that I did, and possibly that you did. Because it doesn't have to happen. We have the scientific proof. When lichen sclerosis is caught early, it is very easily manageable. It is when we have progression, it is when this condition then domino effects into other conditions, that we start spiraling and having more complex issues happening, and we're needing more complex treatments or a specialist to look at us. But let's educate the provider so that they can catch it early. And we're not just talking about gynecologists. We're talking about general practitioners. We're talking about physician's assistants, nurse practitioners, dermatologists, anybody who's looking at the vulva and has the ability to say, you have lichen sclerosis. We're talking to them. Even pelvic floor physical therapists who can't diagnose, but who can absolutely refer. And we want to let them know, hey, this is a thing, so that they can then go further in their studies, because we need specialized treatment from pelvic floor physical therapists, right? And so if we open the door and say, hey, look, this is a thing you can get better educated on, because we have a community of hundreds of thousands, millions of people who are looking for your services. And if you become the one specialized person in your area, then you're going to be, you're going to have everything you need. You're going to have a business model, right? Because they have to make money, and we need specialists. So if we can train them, everybody wins. Everybody wins. So this Art for Empowerment auction that we have going on, like I said, it's donors from our community for our community. And we have so many beautiful things that I really wanted to highlight some of them for you, especially if you didn't know what this was, what was going on. And we have all price points. So it's a great time for you to get your holiday gifts early, to get one-of-a-kind, unique pieces. These are not, you can't run to Target or Walmart or, your nearest mall and pick these up. So I want to run through in the chat. Let me know. I see Edie says, yes, we need more providers who to be educated with LS. Yes, we do. So help us do that. Put in some bids at our auction, and get a beautiful heirloom piece for a gift or keep it for yourself for this holiday season. And know that you are playing a part in changing the care for people with lichen sclerosus. Who knows? There could be a provider in your area that we end up educating, because we've lived this. We know this is not an issue. And I see that we've got some amazing doctors who are in our chat on Instagram. We need more of them. And so help us to create this ecosystem where we have more providers, and we have our provider directory where you can find them as patients and where they can find more patients, because we're in this all together, from doctors to researchers to the nurses, everyone in between. And we are just here as that go-between, because it's all about us, all about us. So I want to share my screen a little bit. If you are in the audience, let me know, like, what kind of crafts do you like? Do you like paintings? Do you like crochet pieces? Do you like homemade jewelry? What kind do you like? Because we have something for everyone, and I want to show you some things. So our if you haven't noticed, our URL is running along the bottom there, and I will also share it in the comments, so that way you can go check us out. There we go. So, okay, here's the thing. We have a total, I think it's 52 pieces, okay? And we've already got some hot bids coming in. So if you want to get in early, you might be able to snag your gift, or if it's for you, you might be able to snag it in there for pretty low price. So there we go. I want to highlight some of these amazing pieces. Like I said, we've got wall hangings, we've got paintings, all different types. We've got some prints, we've got homemade jewelry, and we've got some amazing quilts and crocheted blankets, from baby blankets all the way up to queen size bedding. We have it all. and every dollar goes towards helping patients and providers like you, because that's what we're here for. So first, I want to highlight this piece here. This is coming in hot. So this is actually a 1970 print from a local artist in central Pennsylvania. So this is not just a piece of art. It's an heirloom that it's been around more than 50 years. Um, you can see it's a little aged on the end. It's not framed, but it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of local art. It's local to me. I did find it, and it's starting out it started out at 20, and it's currently at $30. So that's something you can snag up real quick. It's a beautiful piece if you have anyone that admires art. This is another piece that is a little older. This is another watercolor from 1969. Again, a local artist around me. This one's not even, no one's bid on this yet. So if these are colors that you like, jump on. I want to show you some artwork. This is a beautiful crocheted gem choker. Okay, each one of these beads was hand crocheted with a wire, fine wire onto this necklace. Okay, it is gorgeous. Now this one is coming from Canada. So we're global. We have some UK pieces, we have some Canada pieces, and we have some US pieces. Those other two were from the US. This one is in Canada. It's currently going at 20. The bid's at 20. You get your bid in there at 25. You can snap that up. We have another piece. I want to highlight some these beautiful, beautiful quilts. I wish I could make this bigger, but if you go on to our website, you can see a bigger image. But these are our LSSN colors. Look at this. It's like a starburst of colors and beauty. And each one of these little patches of fabric were lovingly stitched together and quilted to make to this beautiful, beautiful blanket, which I believe is even big enough to cover a queen size bed. So you can use it as a bedspread. And we're starting this off at $275, and it really is an heirloom piece. This is one of a kind. This is shipping out of Georgia. So, beautiful piece. We have another quilt that is right here. Again, this is beautiful little pieces that come together to create this heart. This is another one big enough to go onto a bedspread, a queen size bed, I should say. This is already started bidding at $275. You can come in at $300, and it really is an heirloom piece. These are one of a kind, handmade items. I'm going to show you some crocheted pieces. This is one of my favorites, okay? This piece, I made it. It is also big enough to go over a queen size bed, and it is so intricate. There's so many different stitches that went into this. But you can see here how the colors, the stitching, all of the hard work. You're not just going to be able to go into any store and find this craftsmanship. Okay, here it is on the bed. You can kind of see how it lays over. But this is really this is one of a kind. You can't get this anywhere. So this is a starting at 500. You can get this cheap at 500, and we have a buy now of 2,000. It took over a month just to create that one blanket. Okay. If you're looking for something a bit smaller, maybe a baby blanket, we have this one is hot. We've got a bid on this one starting off at 50. This is also has a beautiful motif in the middle. Another intricate blanket. This one's just a bit smaller. So makes a nice baby blanket or a lap blanket for when you're sitting on the sofa or your favorite chair. You can grab that up. Now, I'm going to show you, this is a special one here. This is a round blanket. So you can see it's got these four or these roses in the middle, and then you have the petals. Good Lord, I can't talk. These petals going out, and really it is just showcasing the 3D movement of this blanket. This is a really cool like stroller blanket, or you can have it where like the baby is like playing on top of it, and they have some things to grab on. It is really soft, heavyweight, really cool, 34 inches in diameter. So a beautiful, beautiful piece to have, I could say for like a christening or something like that. I think that's beautiful. Here's another handmade choker. This is beaded into like a heart in the middle there. It's beautiful. And this is made by someone, again, this is coming out of Montreal, one of our community members who graciously did all these different jewelry pieces. So beautiful, so beautiful. So as you can see, we have a good variety. I want to shout out one of our providers. So if you have been with us for a while, you know Dr. Jill Craft. She's one of our top specialists, and she was gracious enough to create this piece specifically for LSSN. She is an embroiderer, and so she embroidered this. There's our letters right here on the bottom. This is LSSN, and so you can have this one of a kind piece made by one of the world's renowned vulvar specialists hanging on your wall. And we've got a starting bid already of $50, and it's going up by 10. This auction ends at the end of the day on October the 18th. So you still have time to get in, look at the different auction pieces, and make your bid. Now, it's really easy when you join the page. When you come onto the page, you'll see a blue register now button. You click on that, put in your information, and then you'll come onto this page. And if you see something you like as you're looking around, you can just hit this little heart here and save it. And then, when you decide, okay, I'm ready to go bid, you can go and look at your saved pieces. You can place your bid. You can look at your look at your different bids. My computer's a little slow, but you can look at your different bids. So you can keep part of them. And the way it works is you will place a bid. So you go in, you place your highest bid. It will only show the minimum bid. And then if you have someone else who's also bidding on that, it will continue to increase by the increment amount until it hits your biggest bid. Once it hits your biggest bid, if the other person goes over, it'll shoot you an email, let you know you've been outbidded, and then you can come in and then put in another bid so that you don't lose your piece, right? This is a hot item. We've already got 4 bids on it. It's a hand knitted scarf, beautiful scarf. This is also coming out of Montreal, 78 inches long. So it's a nice long scarf for those cold, cold days up here in the north, because it's coming. It is definitely, definitely coming. And we have a couple different scarves. And oh, here's another one I really, really love, which is this paper quill 3D art. How beautiful is this expression of a vulva? How beautiful. I mean, look at the colors, the little quill, the circles and spirals. It's just gorgeous. And this is, I can't even imagine how long this took to roll up the paper and glue it in place. It is truly a one-of-a-kind piece of art. So do you want it? You want to hang it up on your wall? That's vulva power right there, right? That is empowerment. You can't help but look at that and feel strong, right? Here's another piece that's coming out of Hawaii. It's these Hawaiian orchids, beautiful watercolor, beautiful, and it's framed. So, it's already ready to go. Nice size, 12 and a half by 15 and a half. And it just makes me smile. I love the colors, the bright yellow with the reds and the pinks. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. We have other artwork pieces. If you're a dog person, we have there. We have some one-of-a-kind pieces that really showcase our creativity. Here's an amazing one. This one's coming out of the UK. There's the artist with her canvas, and it's a beautiful representation of our vulva. This is empowerment on a canvas. So excited. Please, please check it out. We have that also in a tote. So you can carry that around. Here it is. Here it is in a tote. Love it. So pretty. Look at those colors. They're just majestic. So we have so many different pieces. I really can't go through all of them now, but you can. I'll go through just a couple more. Here's one. They're diamonds, but you know what I see? I see vulvas. So you can have it low key. Maybe you want to do that, empowerment, but you don't want it to be so obvious. Here's one, you can, undercover be like, yeah, I have a bedspread full of vulvas, but they're just looking, oh, it's diamonds. How beautiful. And this is a mosaic crochet. Again, you can see it goes over a queen size bed. Beautiful, beautiful. And you can have it starting at $100. That is over a month's worth of work right there. And so lastly, I want to show you this beautiful lace or filet crochet tablecloth. This is an heirloom piece, y'all. You pass this down through generations. This is so much work that has gone into this tablecloth. And it's just gorgeous. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And it's starting off at just $75. Honestly, I think that's too low, but It is what it is. We want to get we want people to start bidding and start a bidding war on some of these pieces. This is beautiful. So again, please join us. It really does help us to create more education, more support for you, because that's what we're here to do. So please leave any comments. Let me know, what's your favorite piece? What are you most excited about? Please share the auction link with anyone you think would appreciate it. Who's into crafts, who's into one of a kind pieces. And we are open all the way through through Saturday. And again, every dollar helps the community. So thank you so much. And I will see you next time. Bye.